I wake up before the alarm because someone else is already awake for me. The room is too quiet, the expensive kind of quiet. Heavy curtains, perfect temperature, no street noise fighting its way in. I sit up and it hits me, not gradually, not gently. For this one day, I am Cristiano Ronaldo. That single fact rearranges reality before I even stand up. My phone is vibrating like it's panicking. Missed calls. Messages stacked on messages. People who would never normally have my number suddenly do. Brands, managers. Someone labeled only as security lead. I haven't said a word yet, and already I'm late for things I didn't agree to. When I walk toward the bathroom, the door is already open. Not because I asked, because someone anticipated it. That's the first shock. Nothing waits for my permission. The world moves ahead of me, assuming my importance. I catch my reflection and feel the mismatch immediately. Yesterday, I was just me, limited, anonymous, replaceable. Today, my face alone is an asset. My name is leverage. My presence changes how people breathe in a room. There's a knock. Soft, respectful. Too respectful. An assistant steps in, eyes alert, posture careful, already deferring. He asks what I want for breakfast, then pauses, like the wrong answer could cost him something. I say coffee. He nods as if I've issued a policy decision. That's when the discomfort starts to crawl in. None of this was earned by the person I was 12 hours ago. The discipline, the talent, the years of sacrifice, that belongs to him, not me. Yet I'm the one being protected now. Two men I've never met are suddenly responsible for my safety. They stand close, scanning, reading the room like threats might fall from the ceiling. My phone lights up again. A single-sentence draft is sent to me with the question, "Can you approve this?" It's a statement that would be read by millions. I read it twice and realize something cold and heavy. Every word I speak today can move markets, trigger headlines, offend nations, inspire kids I'll never meet. Intent doesn't matter anymore. Impact does. That's the second shock. I no longer get to be misunderstood in small ways. Misinterpretation is now a global event. People wait for me to react, not because I'm loud, but because silence itself has meaning now. Doors open when I approach them, physically and metaphorically. Rules soften. Lines disappear. Someone offers to handle things so I don't have to worry. But I am worried. Power arrived without consent, without training, without a manual. It sits on my shoulders like a tailored suit I didn't choose, perfectly fitted and completely foreign. I haven't done anything yet, and already the world is asking who I'm going to be today. I don't waste time pretending this day is normal. Normality would be a lie, and lying feels like the one thing I don't need to do today. I am Cristiano Ronaldo, temporarily. Everyone knows it, everyone reacts to it. So I decide early, if this power is borrowed, I'm going to spend it badly, inefficiently, uncomfortably. The first thing I do is speak without sanding down the edges. During a scheduled interview, one that was clearly meant to be safe, glossy, and forgettable, I answer questions the wrong way. When they ask about success, I talk about fear instead. I say pressure doesn't motivate, it corrodes. I say money solves logistics, not loneliness. I mention that winning becomes quiet after a while, and the silence scares people more than losing. The interviewer freezes for half a second. That half second is everything. I can almost hear the PR alarms going off somewhere far away. Within minutes, clips are circulating. Headlines appear that I didn't write. Ronaldo admits he's not happy. Ronaldo attacks success culture. I didn't say any of that. I said sentences. The world turned them into narratives. That's when I realize how little control words actually have once they leave someone like me. Next, I cancel something expensive and attend something invisible. No cameras, no announcement. I go to a small private training ground where youth players practice without sponsors, without scouts, without expectation. I don't wear branding. I don't post. I just play. Badly at first. Laughing, sweating, existing. Someone still leaks it. Of course they do. By the time I leave, there are articles speculating why I went there. Was it charity? A political statement? A branding pivot? No one considers the simplest explanation, that I wanted to be somewhere my name didn't matter, even if it failed. Later, I do something even worse. I ignore advice. I turn down a perfectly constructed campaign that would have generated millions, and instead redirect the money quietly, split across people who will never trend. Hospital workers, retired staff, families attached to no compelling storyline. This is apparently controversial, not because it's harmful, but because it's inefficient for attention. Someone asks me why I didn't document it. I say, honestly, that I didn't want applause to contaminate the act. That sentence becomes its own problem. I watch commentators debate my motives like I'm a system, not a person. Some say I'm arrogant. Others say I'm calculating. A few say I'm being manipulated. No one says I might just be tired of performing goodness instead of doing it. At some point, I stop correcting anything. I say things I'm not supposed to say, about sponsorships shaping behavior, about silence being part of the contract, about how admiration can turn into a cage if you're not careful. Each sentence feels small when I say it. Each reaction is enormous. I joke once about being replaceable. That joke trends for hours. By evening, I'm exhausted, not from action, but from distortion. Everything I touch turns symbolic. A meal becomes a statement. A refusal becomes rebellion. A smile becomes strategy. And here's the part that actually unsettles me. None of this is because what I'm doing is extreme. It's because who I am makes it so. Truth doesn't change. Volume does. The same words spoken yesterday by me as myself would have landed softly, if at all. Today, they hit like objects thrown from a height. Not because they're heavier, but because people decide they are. I feel amused, briefly, then disturbed. Power doesn't just amplify meaning. It edits it. It bends interpretation until intention becomes irrelevant. The world listens, but only to the version of me it prefers. By night, I don't feel like a hero or a villain. I feel like evidence. Proof that influence isn't about being right. It's about being believed. Proof that discomfort spreads faster than clarity. Proof that society claims to want honesty, but only from people without reach. Tomorrow, this ends. The name goes back to its owner. The gravity lifts. But tonight, lying in a bed I didn't earn, surrounded by silence that costs more than most people make in a year, I understand something unflattering and undeniable. Power doesn't reveal who you are. It reveals how fragile meaning becomes when the wrong person tells the truth. The last hours arrive without ceremony. There's no countdown, no dramatic warning, just a gradual thinning of attention. Messages slow. Assistants stop hovering. Security stands a little farther away, like they already know I'm becoming lighter, less necessary. I can feel influence draining before identity does, which is a strange order for loss. I'm still Cristiano Ronaldo, technically. The name still works on doors, but it's starting to work less enthusiastically. I notice it in small ways. People no longer wait as long for my response. Suggestions replace deference. Someone checks their phone while I'm speaking, not rudely, just unconsciously. The world is rehearsing life without me again. That's when it hits. Power doesn't leave all at once. It loosens its grip slowly, like it wants you to notice the absence. I think about how tomorrow my sentences will shrink back to their original size. Words that bent rooms today will barely move air. No headlines, no interpretation committees. Just meaning, naked and mostly ignored. There's relief in that, and something colder. Fame never removed problems, it just swapped them. Instead of worrying about being unheard, you worry about being watched. Instead of loneliness from invisibility, you get isolation from constant presence. Every moment becomes a performance, even the ones you don't consent to, especially those. For one day, I borrowed gravity. I didn't have to generate it. I just stepped into it. That part was easy, embarrassingly easy. Say something honest, watch it explode. Say nothing, watch people fill the silence with intention. Living inside that permanently must be exhausting in a way sleep can't fix. I imagine waking up every day knowing that rest is suspicious, privacy is negotiable, and stillness looks like weakness. Knowing that even sincerity is filtered through suspicion. Knowing that you can never fully stop playing yourself because someone else always needs you to be louder, braver, stronger, simpler. I joke quietly to myself that I'm lucky. I only had to carry this for 24 hours. No muscle memory, no legacy, no long-term consequences waiting to be reinterpreted 10 years later. Soon the name will return to its rightful owner. The weight will snap back into place where it belongs. And I'll go back to a world where effort matters again, where doors don't open unless you push, and words don't matter unless you earn the right to repeat them. That's the unsettling part. I'm not returning enlightened. I'm returning aware. Aware of how uneven influence really is. How temporary, how arbitrary, how easily meaning inflates or collapses depending on who holds the microphone. Tomorrow, I'll be smaller again. And oddly enough, that feels honest. Because power, I've learned, isn't dangerous because it exists. It's dangerous because it feels normal so quickly and disappears before you can remember who you were without it. This video is a fictional, satirical thought experiment created for entertainment and reflection. It does not represent the real thoughts, actions, intentions, or private life of Cristiano Ronaldo or any other individual. The narrative is not a factual account and should not be interpreted as a personal portrayal or statement. Its purpose is to explore ideas around fame, power, influence, and public perception in a conceptual way, as social commentary. Any similarities to real events or perspectives are coincidental and used solely to examine broader dynamics of authority and visibility in modern society.